So I will talk about the ingenious inventions in ancient India. We Indians ourselves don't know how much contributed we as an ancient Indians contributed to the world. But foreigners, especially French and European philosophers knew. So one was French philosopher Voltaire. What he said, I am convinced everything has come down to us from the bank of Ganges, whether it's astronomy, astrology, or anything else. So the importance of knowledge in our scheme of things can be gauged from this slok from Shulabh Shastra. What he says, Yatha Shikha Mayuranam Naganam Maniyo Yatha Tadvad Vedang Shastranam Ganitam Murdhani Sthitam. Means like the crest of the peacock, like the gem at the head of the snake, so is the mathematics at the head of the knowledge. So no wonder we could do so many things. So he's, as we all know, he's Michael Phelps, American Olympic swimmer. He has won so many medals. So like him, we did so many things in ancient India. We invented zero, we invented sugar, chess, trigonometry, cotton, decimal, astronomy, Ayurveda, surgery, yoga. List is pretty endless. So the most profound of our invention was zero. So without zero laid the foundation for today's civilization. You all know all this artificial intelligence, computers, mobiles works on the binary system. That is 0 and 1. So the 0 is the foundation of all human progress, what we can say. And I will talk about only those things which have a architectural evidence, which have some kind of inscriptions we found. So the 0 was earliest found in 250 CE in Bakshali manuscript. It was found in 19th century but written in 250 CE, around 1800 years back. It was written in Shada script of Sanskrit. We can clearly see the 0 red arrow. We knew 0 only for the 15 or 1600 years. We had the feeling of 0 since time immemorial from the Vedic India also, because we have these large numbers, Niyut, Pripayut, Arbud, Nayarbud, all these 10 crores, 1 lakh, 1 kharab, all these figures were already there. But the symbol was invented somehow sometime in 1700 years ago. So like all that we can see in this chart, earlier it was Brahmi numerals, then Indian Gwalior systems, then Sanskrit Devanagari, and then it went to Western Arabic, and then to the Latin and Europe. So he is the Aryabhat, the profound mathematician, astronomical engineer, and the master in trigonometry. He wrote about Jaya and Kojya, which is nothing but sine and cosine. When it went to Arabia, it became Jiba and Kojiba. And then when Arabs were ruling Spain till 14th century, they came across the European scientists, European mathematicians. Then it became sine and cosine. So this is an illustration which I made, the journey of trigonometry from India to Europe. So in earlier times it was Jaya, then in Persia it went to, in Persia the capital was Baghdad in 820 CE. So there was one Persian mathematician Khwarizmi. So he translated all our text to the Persian, and then from there it went to Europe, and then it became sine and cosine. So closely connected with 0 and numerals, it was a medicine and surgery. So Sushruta, we must have all heard of. So he is a father, considered as a father of modern surgery even in Europe nowadays. So along with the figure of Hippocrates, Celsius and Galen, he was already made the remarkable achievements in the field of surgery. So he wrote a treatise called Sushruta Samhita, in which he has written about 1120 diseases at that time, 2500 years ago. 1120 diseases, 700 medicinal plants, 20 sharp instruments, 101 blunt instruments to help in the surgery, 385 plant generated, 57 animal generated, and 64 mineral generated medicines. Not only that, he also used the anesthesia. Might not be as effective as today, but he mixed some jari booties from Himalayas and then did the operation of cataracts, did the operation of nasal constructions. So in the Royal Australian College of Surgeons in Melbourne in Australia, his bust is prominently displayed. Though I doubt in any Indian hospital he is displayed. So this is a chart from his book Sushruta Samhita. It's easily available on internet. You can download it and read it. It's all the instruments taken from there, which he has used. from cataract surgery, we also did the nasal construction. As we all know, for the revenge, to take the revenge or to insult somebody, we used to cut the noses and ears of our enemies. In Ramayana, Lakshman cut the ears and nose of Supandaka. Similarly, many 100 years of fast forward, after the Third Anglo-Mysore War in 1792, Tipu Sultan cut the nose of one Parsi and 4 Britishers. So after 5 or 6 months, when that Parsi met those Britishers, they found that his nose is healed, his nose is transplanted. So they were very surprised how he could do it. Then he told there's one very learned Vaidya in Pune, whose family is doing surgery, such surgery for generations. Then they met that Vaidya and took his interview. And the paper was published in Europe, and the writer was J.C. Carpio, an account of 2 successful operations for restoring a lost nose. So this is the diagram from his paper, how the flap from the forehead is taken and nose was reconstructed. So like mathematics and science, the surgical methods was also taken to the Arabia when they started ruling Sindh in 7th century. And they translated all our text to the Persian, and then it went to the Europe through Latin translations. There was another Acharya Charak, 2200 years back in 200 BCE, and he wrote about in his treatise Charak Samhita, he wrote about 1 lakh medicinal treatments, anatomy and all about other things. Since we know that ancient India was very rich, in fact the richest in the world, till 500 years back, we will be very surprised to know that just 500 years is nothing. But at that time we were richest at that time. And in the Indus Valley, we were the most prominent trader. We used to trade with Egyptian civilization from the Mesopotamian to the Sumerian, and without weights, you cannot do any trading. For ethical trading, you have to have accurate weights. So these weights, 58 weights were found in the Chanhu Daro, which is in Pakistan nowadays and part of Saraswati Sindhu civilization, also called Indus Valley civilization. So these were made in something after carbon dating. It was found that it was made in 2400 BCE, means 4400 years back, and it was found in very pristine condition, perfect cubes. So majority of these weights lies between 12.6 grams and 14.6 grams. This means that those people at that time were aware of the decimal system also, apart from the numerals. This is the graph which was made by US economist Angus Madison. He has written a book on historical data, comparative data of the GDP of all the nations from 1st AD till 2003 AD. It is also easily downloadable in the internet. You can see the first line, saffron line, is ours. From 1st AD to 1500 AD, when Akbar was ruling India, at that time our GDP was 25% of whole world. Not even today America is producing that. We were producing more than what US is producing today. Our situation went bad or worse only after the arrival of Britishers in 1600. Then we became very poor, but fortunately for the last 20-30 years since the liberalization in 1991, we are again looking up. So the most important component of the trading was Indian cotton. Cotton was so superfine that it was called that it clothed everyone from the Cape of Good Hope to China, men and women from head to foot. And it was said that Indian cotton was as if it was woven in winds, जैसे कुछ पहन के भी नहीं पहना हो. It was such a fine garment. And Indian held a global monopoly over the manufacturing of cotton textiles for about 3000 years till 1500 CE. And Rome was at that time, at the turn of the millennium, means 2000 years back, Rome was the main trading partner. So the Roman emperor said Roman women are so fascinated by the Indian textiles that his treasury is getting empty. He is getting bankrupted. So he thought of banning the Indian textiles, but he could not ban. Such was that popularity. And at that time, our trade for the cotton was 1.5 million Indian rupees. If you convert it to today's currency, it will be somehow 1 lakh crore rupees. Fast forward to 17th century, one Italian adventurer comes, Giovanni Chieri. He said, India was the final destination of all the gold and silver that got exchanged through trade all over the world. कहीं पे भी produce हो रहा होगा gold and silver, whether it's South America, North America, Europe, the final destination is India. आएगा तो वो इंडिया में ही. So what is the archaeological evidence of cotton? It was found stuck in the hundi of a Indus Valley civilization vessel in Mehergarh. It is nowadays in Rajasthan. So it is of Neolithic age, means around 4,000 years back. And then Arab merchants carried the concept of cotton cultivation to Greece, Egypt, and then Europe. So connecting with this is the iron. We spawned the ancient Indians spawned the Iron Age around 1800 BCE. So this is the iron stump, long stump, which is in New Delhi, in Qutub Minar complex. So this was made by Chandragupta Vikramaditya when he defeated Shakas. And afterwards, it was taken by I think Muhammad bin Aibak to Delhi. It was earlier in Vidisha, which is in Madhya Pradesh nowadays. And mind it is a pure wrought iron, 99.72%. It's not a steel. And in the past 1700 years, it has not rusted even a millimeter. So how it was possible? It was some impurities were there, which were formed on the surface of the long stump, and it is protecting that stump. When they killed the spare time by playing games, different type of games. So we were the masters in inventing the board games, and chess is the most important of all. So the Anatoly Karpov, the Russian champion, said, chess is everything. It's art, it's science, and it's sport. So we invented chess as a medium of strategizing through the warfare. How the four components of the army will move in the warfare. That is elephants, chariots, infantry, and cavalry. So it is said that to amuse Ravan, his wife Mandodari invented the game of chess. And another game was Chaucer, and we all know how in Mahabharata Yudhishthira lost that game. And similarly, it was called in the ancient times, it was called a Chaturang, means 4-part. And it was the oldest archaeological evidence is this model. This is found in the Luthal. Anybody visited that place? It's only 87.5 kilometers from here. So it's the earliest known shipyard of Indus Valley civilization. So this is the journey of chess. Here it was Chaturang, then it became Chaturang in Persian, then Shatranj in Arabic, and then Acitrix in Spanish, or English, or chess in English. From India it went to China and Japan also. The fun fact is, Church banned the chess in medieval era in some parts of Europe, sometimes in Italy, sometimes in France. And in Muslim world it is still banned, but though there are a lot of Muslim grandmasters, but it's still considered as haram. So the same journey from here to Arabic and then to Europe. So this is a medieval painting made around 1500th century, where Krishna is playing chess with Radha. There's another beautiful sculpture in Ellora, where the Shiva is playing with his wife Parvati the game of Chaucer. Here Shiva was losing, but a husband does not want to lose the game when he is playing with his wife. So what he did, when she is looking elsewhere, he quickly changed the coins. When Parvati saw it, she became angry, and then again she looked elsewhere. So there is a clash between male and female, husband and wife. And it also has a metaphysical importance, that when the game is started, there's no escaping the consequences. So it also starts the time, it also starts the space and the word. And when we did so many things, how sugar can be far behind. So when Alexander came to India, he called it honey with bees. The Sanskrit word was sharkar. In Persian it becomes shakar, and Arabic it becomes shakkar, and in Latin it became sukarium, and then sugar in English. It went to China also, and they processed it. We used to take it in the form of jaggery. When it came back from China, then that's why we call it chini. The another important contribution of us is stepwell. The most stepwells in whole world is found in India and mostly in Gujarat and Rajasthan. So around 300 stepwells, and it's not a simple digging, simple kuwa or well. It's a step well, very beautiful structures. So around 3,000 stepwells were created between 7th to 19th centuries, and most of them were built by the queens, by the Gujarati queens. And this is, you know what this structure is? Rani Ki Vav. It's really a wow structure. It's called an inverted temple also. It is beautiful sculptures. Hundi, button, shampoo, lost wax casting, cesarean delivery, dockyard, Fibonacci series, and you can see this lost wax casting product, Dancing Girl. It was found in the Indus Valley civilization, and see her attitude. How confident is she? So we will rise again. Definitely, we all know we are already rising. Now we are contributing 7 to 8% of world GDP, and we will see rising in our lifetime. Thank you very much.